What are the most baller leaving medicine stories? So this is a thread on Reddit, and they're talking about all of the famous people who could have been MDs or who were MDs who ended up leaving the fields to do something else. So we all know of famous docs like Peter Attia or Ken Jeong, who's Mr. Chow from The Hangover, who for the most part left clinical medicine and went on to have super successful careers. These are extremes, but what are the craziest left medicine for another career and it went up super well story that you know personally? Michael Crichton got an MD at Harvard, but never practiced. He wrote Jurassic Park and 25 other novels and was the creator of the show ER. Wow, that is a very prolific career. Apparently, he chose not to study English, literature, and creative writing at Harvard because he kept getting less than stellar grades. He even submitted a literary critique by George Orwell under his own name that got a B- without recognition that it was written by Orwell. That's when he switched to pre-med. I know someone who knows Michael Crichton's Harvard Med School faculty advisor very well. Crichton went in to say he was leaving the program to become a writer full-time. He was already a resident, I'm pretty sure. And the advisor said, in effect, that sounds like a recipe for failure. Michael Burry left medicine and made hundreds of millions with his hedge fund. Christian Bale played him in The Big Short. That's still a movie I gotta watch at some point. I've been waiting to watch that. He was a med school genius who, like so many of us, really struggled with the demands of residency. Sounds like he made his decision to leave after falling asleep during a surgery. So yeah, it kind of makes you think how much latent potential is in all of us that, who are struggling with residency. What would happen if we did decide to take that alternative route? The author of the Bridgerton romance novels went to Yale School of Medicine, now making bank from the Netflix show. Julia Quinn, put some respect on that name. She's married to Dr. Paul Pottinger, who is an infectious disease attending. Wow, that's actually very interesting. So this is very current. We still have people to this day who are actively pursuing these outside careers and having a lot of success. I mean, there's an MIT graduate neurosurgeon who practiced 10 years and left medicine to live on an island. I think that's the guy who posted his YouTube channel. His YouTube video really blew up and got recommended to like everybody that I knew. Basically, the guy who decided to stop neurosurgery and just start living a healthy lifestyle. If you look it up on YouTube, you'll find it right away. Wasn't this week that a guy posted he left medicine to become a Greek Orthodox monk? Wow, talk about a 180. Very, very different. Bashar al-Assad left ophthalmology to become the dictator of Syria. Why doesn't anyone let me be a dictator of a Middle Eastern country? BioWare, one of the most well-known video game developers, was started by med school grads who decided they didn't want to do residency. George Miller, the director, was an ER doc. Mad Max makes so much sense. Every day in the ED, I feel like I'm seeing the world collapse. This is actually so revealing. Explains everything. The ER was actually the original Thunderdome all along. Frank Netter stopped practicing clinical medicine to focus on his illustrations. I think that's a classic one that we all know. Johnny Kim, I've definitely heard about this guy. MD, Navy SEAL, astronaut. This is the one I was going to say. He's obviously so smart and accomplished, but the smartest move he did was he saw the ER his intern year, saw the shit show it was, and decided to become an astronaut, LOL. It was such a shit show, he had to leave the planet. Ralph de la Tour, a Harvard CT surgeon who started Steward Healthcare and became filthy rich. Only problem is his company is now bankrupt, but that has not stopped him from having a great summer on his yachts. My parents are physicians and quit together in their 40s, decided they were living to work and that they didn't need all the extra stuff. Saved up a bunch in stocks, had retirement secured, and paid off their houses and Teslas. They travel a lot, hike, sometimes they just watch Top Chef all day. I'm a fourth year about to go through the fire. Meanwhile, my parents are happily making a nice living doing absolutely nothing. Makes you think about your life. I think it's definitely a balance. I think for most people, it is nice to have at least some kind of goal or aspiration. It would be really fun to just like completely be doing nothing for a while, but I think after a little bit of that, you would want to start picking up something. So I assume their parents are probably doing something other than just Arthur Conan Doyle, author of Sherlock Holmes, was an ophthalmologist. Wow, we've got a lot of people who are in ophthalmology are going on to do, well, I guess I wouldn't say great things if one of them became the dictator of Syria, but man, a lot of good authors in medicine. Khaled Hosseini, the author of The Kite Runner, is an internist. Ben Carson ran for president after his medical career. I'm not really sure that fits the prompt of leaving medicine and having a successful career afterwards. Adam Kay went on to become a successful comedian. A TV show was made of his memoir, This Is Going to Hurt. Oh, and here's another one about BioWare again. Oh, Baldur's Gate was made by them. Mass Effect, Dragon Age, Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic. Man, those are some really good games. Founded in 1995 by 3 doctors from Canada. Ray Muzica, General Practice Emergency Medicine, Greg Zeshuk, Family Medicine, and Augustine Yip, gastroenterology. Yip returned to medical practice in 1995. BioWare was sold to EA in 2007. They stayed on until 2012, and now Musica is an investor, and Zestruk is in the craft beer industry. Pau Gasol started medicine, but dropped it for basketball after a year. Wow, very interesting. Oh, so Arthur Conan Doyle brought us all Sherlock Holmes and modeled him on a physician, his own professor. And that really makes sense because a lot of medicine is kind of this detective work kind of, activity. So very fitting that Sherlock Holmes is modeled after one of his own professors. All right, and that's it for some of the most baller leaving medicine stories. Let me know down in the comments below if you know any famous or successful people who left medicine. And if you were to leave medicine, what would you do instead? Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and peace.